My name is Ronelle DeShazer. I am the Director of Information Technology and Security for Partners Enterprise Capital. I have been in IT/cybersecurity for 26 years, and I reside in Chicago, Illinois, United States. My journey for IT and cyber started out generally, as I like to say, from the beginning of working on a help desk to going to software support specialist to manager to director. So for me, I feel like I've had the full gambit of learning every facet in IT, and of course, now moving into the cybersecurity side, which I've been working in for the last 10 years. There are a number of challenges in IT and cybersecurity, no doubt about it. However, for me, the CISO has helped me in organizing, planning, resolving, and being able to measure the program in itself. Um, Cybersecurity is ever changing, and you can never fully 100% be on top of it. But the CISO has given me the ability to create benchmarks and measure the activity to make sure that we're adding in best practices at my firm. The difference for me is how I see it is it covers a number of topics from NIST framework to vendor management to creating the information security program to third-party vendors and to structure and just across the board. I feel that it covers all of the necessary items within cybersecurity. And to me, that sets it apart from the other certifications, and on top of the fact that it's a reference. I think the reference part of the CISO is what continues to allow me to come back to it because I know I have a source. If I'm unfamiliar with something or if there's new in the industry, I can go to the CISO e-council and find out what's going on. Well, for me, I believe it sets me apart from other peers that may have similar experience, but I think the CISO validates you because you've taken the training, the courses, you've passed the test, and also you're in my opinion, the community. And so when you're in the cyber community, you're able to see a number of things, even outside of your industry. But I can for surely say that for me, the educational component, the salary obviously increase, and there's a demand. Let's be honest about it. There's a demand for cybersecurity professionals, and if you have the skill set that's paired with the CISO knowledge, to me that sets you apart from all of the others that are out there trying to get a similar job or a similar role. In my opinion, all five are important. I don't think you can focus on any one, and there may be some different ones based on the industry you're in. However, all five, in my opinion, are important. It's the planning process of it, it's the measurement process of it, it is the implementation, and it's also getting to know all of the five domains, which make it important for you to have a successful cybersecurity program. And to me, the CISO, they pound you away with that. And I think that's super important. And it also gives you the opportunity to know that in other areas, the CISO five domains help. Even if it may not be in your certain industry, or even if it may not be in your certain discipline, all five of the domains help in building a true cybersecurity program and benchmarking. The most significant, I think, for my part, is being able to actually see my experience and the CISO interact at the same time. I think when you learn something new and then it actually happens in the real world, now it starts to make sense. And that's one thing I appreciated about my instructors too, as well, is that a lot of them were out in the world and they weren't just the teachers. A lot of them worked in the field. A lot of them had the experience. So for me, learning that from an experienced CISO, that helped me in my journey and to also validate what we were doing because they were seeing some of the same things we were seeing out in corporate America. Of the five domains, the information control and auditing portion was the domain that I gravitated towards. I have a bit of an auditing background, so for me, whenever there's a control, an audit, SOC 1 of some sort, we're able to produce the material to give to those auditors because we've already audited internally and those controls are already in place. So it's easier for me to go to the executive team and say, these are the controls we have. Here's what we presented to the auditors. They provided their feedback and we would get our score. And generally speaking, our score would be very, very low in the sense of not having that many errors. So I've always been happy with being able to say, hey, the information security auditing management piece of the domain is what I like the most. I always recommend the CISO to my peers. I think once you've had 10 or plus years in cybersecurity, you tend to not be as technical anymore, albeit you're able to translate the data. However, you need to be able to speak in layman's terms to the executive team, and I feel that the CISO certification gives you that tool. And I always tell my peers, this is the one you need to get if you want to progress in your career. Talk to executives, build you a cybersecurity program, and be able to talk intelligently about that program.